Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. It is November 15th, midway through November. Soak that in for a moment. And I am so happy to be here with you. If you are joining me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, go ahead and leave me a comment so I can say hello and see that you're here. If you are on Instagram, you can just be here. But either way, please bring in those comments. Love to hear from you. I am Kalua. I am Imperfectly Amazing, and I do these lives every Monday at 9:15. And I come on live Wednesdays at 9:15 for Clarity with Kalua. So today's a little bit of a departure for me. I don't generally, so first of all, I don't even watch the news. Okay. I'm very protective of the media that I let into me. I work really hard to keep my vibration high. And I wouldn't say really hard. I'm really intentional about keeping my vibration high. And while I'm not perfect, one of the things I find is keeping those influences that sort of drag you back down. And I find the news can very much be that way. And especially celebrity news, right? My goodness, I think as a culture, we have this tendency to see somebody do something great, right? Something that we admire in singing, dancing, acting, sports, whatever it might be. And we're like, wow, look at that. And we start building this pedestal for them and we put them up there and we sit back and we admire them. And then we say, boy, look at them up there on that pedestal. Boy, who do they think they are? Get the sledgehammers. And we start knocking down those pedestals. There's just this indulgence of reporting on what's going wrong in that person's life, why that person isn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. None of us are perfect. And it just kind of gets to that point of feeling like the contemporary version of the Salem witch trials. Really, it's just always that persecution. And again, that's why I do stuff like this. Let's get back into us. If we have so much energy and attention to be focusing outward, let's pull it back into us and imagine what we can do with our own lives. We are just unlimited. So, bring that energy, that attention, that all of that, not scrutiny, not judgment. Don't bring that to you, but bring that energy to you. And, of course, for me, a big topic of passion is, about women's empowerment. And so the story of Britney did sort of bleed through all of that for me. All that to say, that story of Britney really bled through for me. My daughter actually brought it to my attention maybe a couple of years ago about the Free Britney movement. And I didn't even realize, I can't even imagine. I did not know that Britney was still under that conservatorship. If you haven't followed that, obviously Britney, did some stuff in her 20s. Show of hands, if you've done dumb shit in your 20s, yeah, we all did, right? And basically, Britney has been under lock and key ever since that. Every aspect of her life controlled and monitored and regulated, which it's not my life. I don't know. And I'm so far out of the fandom. I'm not there. I'm not one of that group, but just my limited understanding, I'm led to believe that the reason that Britney did the dumb shit in her 20s is because she was under such control and being regulated and, what a novel thought. Somebody who's being overly controlled, rebelling. Whoa, who ever heard of that? Right. So, this woman spent from 26 until 40 being controlled, every aspect of her life controlled. And it's so interesting. Like, so I kind of had to take a step back before I started this, and I'm still just sort of like, all right, let the right stream of thought come to me on this one because I have so many things to say about this. I think what I want to, where I want to go first is just that whole our culture, our perspective, our programmed beliefs and thoughts, and none of us are wrong, okay? None of us are bad people, none of us are horrible, but we've been programmed from generation to generation to generation, and we don't even know what these programs are, and we react, right? So I can think of many a male, you know, young actor, what whoever, who has completely, you know, been wild and, doing drugs, trashing hotel rooms, whatever. You know the story. And when it's these guys, it's, well, they're just letting off steam. Boys will be boys, you know, guys got to do their thing, right? He's just a wild boy, right? And when women act out in their early 20s, right? Or in their 20s, whatever age they act out, oh my, we need to rein her in, get her in line, right? Everybody, and you just see it over and over again. And I know that I've even been caught in that knee jerk reaction of, oh my, like my George Takei comes out, right? And so um I have to like rein myself in and say, whoa, 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 that's programming. What do I really think about that? Wait a minute, what is so different about what she's doing and what they're doing? Or again, who has done dumb shit in their 20s? You know? So I guess that's where, again, and many a day ago, they would say the double standard, and it lives. It still lives. I can think of so many actresses, especially when they were child actresses, right? And they are trying to be seen as adults, and then they do all the like risque stuff, and everybody, oh, and then it's like they spend, right? So we do that crazy stuff in the 20s as women, right? And then we spend our 30s like apologizing for everything we did in our 20s. We people please, and we just seem to like take this vow of servitude to please others and to apologize for maybe being a little wild in our 20s. Why? And then it seems like in the 40s, we find our voice again and say, wait a second, why am I still being punished for this? I was being developmentally appropriate. Okay. And I think that's what we see so much here with Britney, but obviously to such an extreme. I mean, none of us were, had our human rights taken away for over a decade. But in some ways, we do hand over our power for that point in time. It again, like we buy into that, like, oh, I can't believe I behaved that way. Oh, I can't believe I might have done this or I might have done that. You did. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience, and that's part of it. You're human. You're supposed to be having a human experience. All of the dumb shit you do makes you you, And there is just no need to punish yourself. There's no need to please everyone else. There's no need to take that vow of servitude and just feel unworthy of good things because you might have done something that maybe somebody didn't think appropriate at one point in your life. You know who you are as a human being, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And that's the biggest thing, letting go of that having to having to control other people's perceptions of you, People are going to have the wrong perception of you all the time. That's their thing. That's their bad, right? Because you know why? Because they're seeing you through their filter, and you might pull up something about them that they don't like. So you can't control that. You can only control you. And the best way to do that is to honor yourself. Forgive your past indiscretions, which may or may not have been indiscretions, but if they were, whatever, forgive them. It's okay. If they irritated somebody, that's on someone else. If you have apologized, like maybe you did do something not okay. That's what we do. We make mistakes. If you apologized and they're not accepting your apology, again, that's about them. That's not you. You've done what you're supposed to do. You've done the part, right? Now you have to forgive you. Whether they forgive you or not, that's about them. You've got to forgive you. So, I kind of want to end with that whole idea of a lot of times the reason that we have these perceptions, these ideas of we've done something wrong is just, again, it has been programmed into us for so long. And I talked about this recently in a podcast on Breakthrough or Bust, the story of the bay leaf, right? And how for generations and generations, women have been taught to stay in line, right? Play small, stay in line. And a lot of that has to do with safety. It's usually the women in our lives teaching us that, and it has to do with safety. A lot of times a woman who stepped out of line was put back in line, either physically, sexually, however it was done, she was punished for being too big, for gosh, I just saw a thing about this one woman who what did she do, like ride a bike across the country way back in the day, and she made it from coast to coast despite being arrested so many times for wearing pants. So you think about it, it's like that sounds so ridiculous now, but that back then, that was major. Oh my God, how could you do that? That's disgusting. You're stepping out of line. Who do you think you are? Right? So a lot of that stuff, it just keeps getting passed down and passed down and passed down. And we may not even realize why, where it originally stemmed from. And yeah, there are worst case scenarios where a conservatorship, or, your human rights get taken away. But you know what? If we all step into our power and we all have each other's back, because that's the other thing, this whole catfighting stuff, this is how we keep people separated. It's how we do it in politics, the R versus the D, right? It's how we do it in everything. This is how we let the wrong people come to power, is by bickering. So we need to come together. We are all one. We are all connected. Our connection, yes, we have differences, but that's okay because we're all connected. We're all connected. So, the more that we step into our power together, the more we support each other, the more we're safe, right? The more we make it safe for others. It is time, my loves. It is time for the divine feminine to be empowered. And that helps the men as well, because they have masculine and feminine attributes as well as us. So this is for the universal whole. It is good for everyone. I hope that my rambling sort of came together on this one, because it's something that has really just upset me for a while that she was in this position. So excited for #freed Britney now, right? That she has her life back. And all I could think about when I saw the news on that was, I wonder what she's going to do first. So excited for her. And I am so excited for you and the collective. It is such a powerful time to start making these changes, for stepping into your power. And, actually, as I think about, part of how I'm contributing to that is with the CRAVE program. So, The Crave program is empowering you to have the life you crave, not the life that other people think you should have, not, it's your life. And so this Friday is our monthly Crave call, and we will be talking about how to use your heart mind to make your life unlimited. So really exciting stuff. I've got the whole thing put together. I think you're going to love it. So if you would like to join that Crave community, send me a message, and let's get going on that. I would love to have you there. It is time to raise the collective, and I would love to have you be a part of that. So I send you so much love on this Monday morning. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.